Welcome everybody to Circuit Paul Armagnac, also known of course as Circuit Nogaro. We are here for the 30th anniversary of the Clio Cup Europe, the very first round of the 2021 season here in the south of France, and of course wonderful weather to go with it. We're just getting the drivers now ready to go. They're just about to start their warm-up lap, and judged on the weather, they don't need much warming up, let me tell you that for free. Charles Draycott here with you for the entire championship. Really looking forward to getting this underway. And what a circuit to do it at as well. The very first purpose-built circuit in France. It was built in 1960, was Nogaro, or was completed in 1960. Construction started in 1959. 2007 it was revamped. The circuit was widened. There was a new pit lane added and pit complex on the straight that they're on now. As you can see, it's not actually the hottest of days, but the weather itself is wonderful. Quite the wind, which does keep it nice and cool out there. But we have a fantastic grid of, well, wonderfully talented drivers this afternoon. Here is your grid then. Kevin Jimenez leads David Pouget with Alexander Albuy and Dorian Guldenfels. Watch out for him from 4th place. Marc Guillot lines up alongside Anthony Girardot with Nicolas Milan and Michael Curry. He's followed by Guillaume Maillot and Thibaut Bossy, who lines up in 10th place. And behind them, we have Juan Carlos Hernandez, Paul Kokiain, and Jerzy Spinkovic. Watch out for him in the number 125 machine, the Polish driver, doing a very, very good job yesterday. We then have Horn in 14th position with Lionel Vigue and Alvaro Bajo, followed by Laurent Jadis. Jeremy Bordagaray, trust me, I had to ask him how to pronounce that, is 18th. Arnaud Gauthier is 19th, ahead of Stefan Polderman, the Dutch driver, in 20th. Behind them is Fabien Julia, René Steenmetz, Antoine Bordagaray, and then we have Mathieu Lannepoudens, followed by Mikel Fay, and at the very back of the grid we have Javier Sequendez. Now, a couple of drivers got lap times disallowed yesterday. Lannepoudens was one of them in the 111 machine. He caused a red flag late on in the day, so had his lap time disallowed. You can see them just making their way under the Dunlop Bridge now. 14 corners on this circuit, or dependent on which track map you look at, 15. Depends if they count the left kink before the final hairpin on the circuit, where the old pit straight was. You can see them warming up the tyres now, really chucking the back end of the car out, just to make sure they've got as much heat in those tyres as possible for the very first lap of the race. We have a 25-minute race here today, with one lap once we complete 25 minutes. And 30 races this season. We have another race coming at the same time tomorrow, but that's for after everybody lines up to take their place on the grid. Look out for Nicolas Milan, by the way, in 7th place, alongside Michael Curry, the all-white car, just in the middle of the pack there on the right-hand side. He's a 6-time champion, looking for his 7th title this season. Some wonderful liveries on the grid this season. We had a fantastic evening yesterday with the drivers all lining up for the season promotion shot, or the season launch, but the lights are about to come on and the 2021 Clio Cup Europe is about to get underway. There are the lights then, the revs will rise, and we're away for 2021. It looks like a really good start from Jimenez from pole position. Pouget goes over to cover with him, side by side there between Marc Guillot and Anthony Girardot. 3 wide in the middle there. That was one of the Spanish drivers. I think that might have been Hernandez that got stuck in the middle there, had to back out of it. They've been given a few warnings this sort of weekend about the track limits. They need to be careful of that. You can see the dust getting kicked up there. Tightly packed though, everybody just taking it calm on this first lap already. Through turn 4 to the very, very slow turn 5. It's important to get a good run out of here. Jimenez has just got the run he needed. Look at that side-by-side there. That was Guillot trying to get past Alexander Albuy. And that run is very important because they've got a humongous long straight down towards turn 7. Hard braking zone here. You can expect a lot of manoeuvres into here. Side by side there, a little bit of contact as well. I think that's Anthony Gerardo. It was Gerardo there making contact with the number 25 machine of Alexander Alboy. Manages to save it, though. It looked like the car got slightly out of shape, and through goes Guillaume as well, down the inside in the bright yellow car. Pushes him out wide. Manages to save it. It's the joys of front-wheel drive cars. You can just boot it. As again, wide in the background, Gerardo. He's having a very lively first lap, but trust me, it's going to stay this way through the race. Alboy there in the middle. There's Nicholas Milan trying to go around the outside. Tucks it in. Gets a good run down what is the old pit straight there. That looked to me like the 85 of Thibaut Bossi. Just having a little bit of contact maybe with Hernandez. They're still side by side as they come into the penultimate corner, turn 13, then through turn 14. I was stood on the inside of that corner yesterday. It's incredible the amount of speed they carry through there. They cross the line. Team managers watch on eagerly. Looks like Nicholas Milan. There he is, looking down the inside of Alboy. Alexander's not had the smoothest of first laps. But look at this now, Pouget chasing for the race lead. Trying everything he can, but he just needs to put the pressure on early on and see where he's quicker than Jimenez. Nicholas Milan still trying to line up Alexander Alboy as well, but neat and tidy stuff inside the top 10. A little bit of contact on lap 1, but you can expect that. I think that was Thibaut Bossi just going a bit wide there and catching one of the bollards. Down the back straight again then for the lead. Pouget looking to the inside of Kevin Jimenez. Try and go as light on the brakes as he can. You can see the car squirreling around on the brakes, and he does get it done. A little bit of a push halfway through the corner and again on the exit from Kevin Jimenez. This is the sort of close racing you can expect this season, lifting the left rear wheel off the ground as they go into turn 9. A lot of double apex corners on this circuit. You really need to have your lines right. Down towards turn 11 again, and Pouget's got a very good run out of there. Dorian Guldenfels is just behind. Guldenfels, a previous champion as well, so he is definitely one to look out for. Fantastic sight, though, of all these Clio Cup cars. Around 200 brake horsepower, these machines. And they sound fantastic in person as well, I can tell you that. Down the straight they go again then. Down towards turn 1. Very, very quick corner, very scary corner, to be honest. I was, again, stood on the inside of there yesterday. And it's so difficult to get that right lap after lap. It's very close there between Nicholas Milan and Alboy. Those two have been battling from pretty much the very start. Nearly 5 minutes of the race gone already. It's incredible how time flies, isn't it? But look at that now, Milan. Alboy right behind him and tucked up behind them, I should say, is Anthony Gerardo. Down the straight they go. It's a fantastic sight, a very colourful grid. Hard onto the brakes, squirreling around again. David Pouget still leads the way. Guillaume close to the back of Guldenfels. There's Mayo in the very bright red, yellow and blue machine. There's the 78 of Laurent Jadus. He's got Horn just behind him. There's Thibaut Bossi. One of my favourite liveries on the grid, very striking looking car. Into turn 11 again. Oh, little lock up there from Guillaume. Right on the back of the TB2S machine of Guldenfels. TB2S sporting 4 cars in this championship. Lionel Viguier, Paul Coquain, Dorian Guldenfels and, of course, Thibaut Bossi. Third lap in the books then. David Pouget looking very, very tidy at the front. Fastest lap of the race from Nicholas Milan, 1:42.345. But it's still very, very close. And trust me, I mean it when I say that it's going to stay that way all season. That bollard is, well, being sent for a holiday on the exit of turn 2, just before turn 3. And this is such a difficult part of the circuit because you're not just accelerating on the way out of these long sweeping corners, but you're on the brakes as well, and the car just wants to break away. If you've ever driven a front-wheel drive car on the limit, you'll know that the front wheels do everything and the back end is just along for the ride, as you very much are if you lift off. There's Nicholas Milan then, looking at the back of Marc Guillaume. These two of the real hot favourites for the championship this year. Marc Guillot has 5 championships, 2 French Clio Cups and 3 Spanish Clio Cups. So he's certainly a very, very talented man. And look at that, Gerardo all over the place on the brakes there, looking round the back of Alexander Alboy. Oh, a little bit of contact there. I believe that was Lionel Viguier. It was. Laurentiadis just getting in the back of him in the middle of that train, potentially just getting a little bit impatient there. It's easy to do when you're in a train like this. You don't always want to be at the front of the train, especially when you come onto the back straight. It's turn 11 again. Such a picturesque circuit as well. Usually flatter circuits aren't that pretty to look at, but honestly, Nogaro has very, very much surprised me. I've really enjoyed being here already. Here we go then. Through the second to last. Pouget still leading. Jimenez just hasn't been able to catch up yet. We do have multiple classes in this championship as well. We have the Challenger Cup and the Gentleman's Drivers' Cup as well. Jimenez is the highest placed in the Challenger Cup at the moment. It's for drivers that were under the age of 26 coming into this season. Alexander Alboy is the next one. Gerardo has got past him on that lap as well, so Gerardo now up into 6th position in the number 5 machine. The highest place of the Gentleman Drivers' Cup drivers that I mentioned there is Lionel Viguier in 13th position. He's got Giardis and Horn just behind him. Those two both in the same class. But David Pouget still doing well as off the circuit there. Just trying to figure out which one of them that was there. I believe that was Alvaro Bajo, the number 26. It was not. It was number 11. Juan Carlos Hernandez getting a real shove there. That was Bajo that actually shoved him out of the way. But again, the beauty of front-wheel drive cars, you can put your foot in it and just straighten up the front end. Guillot using all of the circuit there. Now, the drivers did get a couple of reminders earlier on in the week to be careful about track limits on turns 2, 9, 12 and 14. And that was turn 9 that we were through there, so need to keep an eye on that. Just see whether anybody takes the mick a little bit. Look at this though, Guillot and Milan being very patient at the moment behind Dorian Guldenfels. They're probably just thinking, we can't let those top 2 get away. Although I say that, Nicolas Milan looking down the inside of his teammate. Yes, that's right, they are teammates. Despite being horns locked for the championship, these two are potentially working together. Look at that, 3 wheels around turn 2. David Pouget leading the way, Guldenfels just behind. Sorry, Jimenez just behind, then it's Guldenfels third there. You can see the right rear is barely on the ground all the way through that first section. They've got 3 right-handers in a row, and then a very tight left-hander. There's the very bright car of Spinkovic, the number 125. Met all the teams and drivers yesterday and realised how much I really need to learn French, but Spinkovic and his team all speaking probably better English than me, actually. Cars 11 and 88 are under investigation. So my apologies to Alvaro Bajo. It was not him that was involved in the contact, it was Horn that was involved in that. Down the inside goes Spinkovic on Guillaume Mayo, but Mayo says, not on your life, sunshine, I'll have that back. Takes the place back into turn 9. Look, Milan looking all over the back of Guillot again, but this battle between Spinkovic and Mayo is far from over. And car 88, which is Horn, has had a warning for contact with Juan Carlos Hernandez. So he needs to watch it. Now, Guillot is slightly dropped away here from Dorian Guldenfels. So Nicolas Milan needs to potentially get past him or just push him back up behind Guldenfels at this point. But Pouget and Jimenez, they won't be too fussed at the moment. There's Viguier, currently in 13th place. Highest placed driver in the Gentleman's Drivers' Cup at the moment. But that man just behind him, Laurent Giardis, is going to try and take those honours away. You will see some of the cars there with the stickers on the rear windows and some of them on the front windows as well, with either a C or a G for the Challenger Cup and the Gentleman's Drivers' Cup. Spinkovic gets back ahead of Mayo, just in front of this as well. So Spinkovic has got the move done. And look at this now, Milan down the inside of Gio into turn 7. Later on the brakes, his teammate doesn't make it too hard for him. Both part of the Milan competition team, chasing down the TB2S car of Dorian Guldenfels. But Dorian holding his ground at the moment. These three all previous champions in Clio Cup. So three of the most potent drivers on the grid. Into turn 11. Interesting lines around there because it's not a smooth hairpin. I was there this morning watching some of the Alpine A110s go around there, thinking why are they so wide in the middle of that hairpin, but it isn't as smooth as it looks. There they go through the final 2 corners then. Pouget very impressive so far though, out in front, 7 laps down. Now Milan, now he's got past Gio, he is straight on to the back of Guldenfels. He wants a podium in his first round of the championship. Now the championship is split over 30 races and 4 groups. There's 4 groups of drivers over the course of the season. So you will see different drivers at different rounds depending on where we're racing. But all of the points go towards an overall title. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that works out with what drivers go up against what other drivers. There we are on the back straight again. It is as long as it looks. It's a very, very long back straight. It runs parallel to a small airfield here at Nogaro. Now Milan moves over to the right. Guldenfels goes with him, leaves him the room down the inside. The back end of the car comes off the ground there as they hit the bump on the way into the braking zone, and Milan is ahead. Textbook stuff from Nicolas Milan. He knows exactly what he's doing with the car. Fantastic stuff. And now Gio. Guldenfels has been rocked by that. Gio wants to follow him through. Here's a replay of the move. Look at the back end of Guldenfels' car. Comes off the ground. You can see he's actually turning right there to save it. Great stuff. Awesome car control. But let's face it, these guys know what they're doing. And Gio now filling Guldenfels' mirror with that very famous yellow of the Renault Sport colours. Might think that the sun's just gone down slightly, but nope, it's definitely Marc Gio. There's Pouget leading Jimenez. Jimenez, don't forget, started on pole position. Pouget got it done early on. The back end of the car just skipping around there through turn 2. Bouncing over the curb. They take a lot of the curb on the inside and on the outside. They just need to be careful. It doesn't unsettle the car too much. Gio goes in very deep there. He needs to watch his mirrors as well, because Anthony Girardo and Alexander Alboy both catching up. So this could become a 5-car train if Nicolas Milan doesn't disappear over the horizon. They're all keeping it nice and calm at this point though. 10.5 minutes to go, plus 1 lap of course. Look at them all just moving around. It's not the smoothest braking zone, as you saw a moment ago with Guldenfels, the rear end coming off the ground. The cars do move about. Just as you go over a slight crest there, the back end tries to break away. The drivers are all ready for it, but it doesn't help, that's for sure. There's number 25 of Alboy chasing down Girardo. Just behind them is Thibaut Bossi in 8th place. But this is Milan now. He wants to move forward and go after Jimenez. There's the old pit straight. Down towards turn 13. Chucks it in. And car 88, Horn, has actually been given a 3-second time penalty for the contact earlier, not just the warning. So we'll have to see where that ends up putting him in comparison to the other cars. Have to find that out at the end. He's 15th at the moment, putting him 3 seconds back. Well, that would really, really put him quite far down. I think he'd be outside the top 20 at that point. There he is. And in the number 88, so he needs to get a move on now and try and break away from Alvaro Bajo and Juan Carlos Hernandez, the two teammates at Shefo Sport. Probably hoping they can cook up a good result this season. Yes, I know, it started already. Right, David Pouget is trying to open up that gap at the front, but it's only 1.1 seconds at the moment over Jimenez. But Jimenez has only got 1.2 seconds over Nicolas Milan. Milan did his personal best lap time last time round. So he's on a charge at the minute. It's not the fastest lap of the race, but it's his personal best. And we've still got Guldenfels looking back at Marc Guillot, and then Gerardo and Alboy. So some great duos going on here. Just going to keep my eye on the times and see how close Milan gets to the back of Jimenez, because I think he's got the pace in him at the moment to potentially get second place. We'll have to see. Just needs to keep his head on, keep it calm. But if anyone can do it in this field, it's Nicolas Milan. Like I've said, 6-time champion in the Clio Cup. So he knows exactly what he's doing. Pouget crosses the line then. The gap is now 1.4 to Jimenez, and then Milan is now within a second of Jimenez. So he's definitely closing. There's a nice little train behind Spinkovic. We've got Mayo, Cocaine, Viguier and Giadas. And there's Horn, followed by Bajo. There's been a swap around in the background. Lana Poudanx has got past Bordagaray. That's the 111 machine overtaking number 31. There's some of the runners further down the order. That's Antoine Bordagaray and René Steenmetz at the back of the field. The number 55 machine, but look at that now, Pouget really flying at the front. Calm and collected since the start. Turns in as late as possible. Bit of a lock-up there from Jimenez and also from Guldenfels. Maybe feeling a bit of pressure at the minute. I mean, Guldenfels has got Marc Guillot behind him, and Jimenez has got Nicolas Milan behind him. And to be honest, if you want somebody behind you in this championship, neither of the people you'd choose would be Nicolas Milan and Marc Guillot. Here's Spinkovic. He's not been able to get away from Guillaume Mayo. And there's Lionel Viguier just in the middle of it all, trying to chase Paul Cocaine. Under the Dunlop Bridge again. Oh, Viguier, that's not going to help you, mate. Not going to be able to make much forward progress on the gravel. Now, they're very thick gravel traps here as well. It's obviously... It's an old circuit, you know, 1960 this circuit was made, and it still has very traditional gravel traps which really do stop the cars. There was an Audi R8 went off in the FFSA GT4 series earlier today, and it didn't stop very far off the circuit. Personal bests going in for Anthony Gerardo on that lap. Look at them now really pushing the limits over the curbs there. Cocaine does his personal best and Giadas doing the same. The gap between Jimenez and Milan, you see it there. Half a second between these two. Very, very close indeed. Down the back straight once again. Hard onto the brakes they go. Jimenez has got his mirrors very much full of Nicolas Milan at the moment. And Spinkovic has got Mayo and Cocaine just behind. There's Viguier under pressure from Giadas. Left rear wheel coming off the ground again. These drivers leaving nothing on the table. More of these duos breaking out though, like I say. Just trying to see what they can do. Cocaine looking down the inside of Mayo there, just trying to put the pressure on, fill his mirrors. Looks like Viguier's gone a little bit wide through turn 11 and turn 12. Doesn't hurt him too much. Spinkovic trying to break away. Now, here is the battle for second place. Kevin Jimenez Nicolas Milan is all over the back of him. Look at that 2 wheels around turn 3 from Nicolas Milan. Absolutely chucking it through there. Jimenez has got 4 minutes and another lap to defend here. So that's another 3 laps if I'm not mistaken. I usually am. Milan actually did the fastest lap of the race last time round as well, a 1:42.091, and already Jimenez feeling the need to go defensive. He's trying to break the slipstream where he can. What's Milan going to do? He looks down the inside. Is he going to go for it, or is he just dummying him? No, he is going for it. Nicolas Milan straight down the inside. Thank you very much. Look at that. Jimenez gets the cutback at turn 7. He says, well, thank you. No, thank you. Bit of contact on the way in. Milan back down the inside for turn 9. Gets it stopped on the apex. Great stuff. Jimenez cannot do another cutback there. But he's going to be tucked up right behind him, potentially for a go into turn 11. That'd be brave. But it would definitely mean that neither of them can get to the front and chase David Pouget. Nothing yet from Jimenez, or is there? Looks further down the inside at turn 12. He's right behind Nicolas Milan. Never mind that, he's next to him as they run down to turn 13. Slots back in behind. Nearly pushing each other through turns 13 and 14. Hard onto the power, then onto the straight. Looks like Milan went a little bit wider on the exit. There's Pouget. He's happy to see them battling in the mirror because he can break away from all of this. Through turn 1. You've got to think, though, has Milan used his tyres up trying to chase Jimenez? Will the tyres be all right here? It's like I've said before, it's not the hottest day, so the tyres may be able to take a bit more punishment. Look at this from Jimenez, so aggressive. Looks down the inside into turn 4. Left rear wheel off the ground, sorry, right rear wheel off the ground on Milan's car. You can see a little bit of damage on the back left corner of Nicolas Milan's car, actually. There's still nothing doing, but now, of course, Jimenez is going to have the slipstream. He started quite close behind him, though, as they go onto the back straight, so he might not get too much of a run. You can see the heat haze in the air, though. Cars punching their way through the air, down the straight. Nothing too dramatic here from Jimenez. Just follows him on the brakes. He's just assessing where he can try and get through. Look how close they are through turn 7. Into turn 9. Nice and tidy. Jimenez is definitely keeping a tighter line everywhere than Nicolas Milan. Nicolas is really pushing the car. Just under 1.5 minutes to go then. And then another lap here at Nogaro. Here's Gerardo looking down the inside of Guillaume. Guillaume's had a bit of a lock-up. They go door to door through turn 12. Mind the wing mirrors, boys. And Gerardo is through. Guillaume all over the shop. I know that you can convert the rallycross version of this Clio into the Cup car, but he's certainly showing its rallycross heritage there on the gravel of the outside. Jimenez has dropped away a little bit there from Milan. Guldenfels will be happy with that because it means now that with Gerardo behind him and 2 laps left to go, he's not under too much pressure. Just needs to keep it on the black stuff and keep it tidy. Now Alexander Alboy wants a look at Marc Guillaume here. There is Guillaume. But Pouget will be very, very happy with this at the moment. Look at his lead now. It was 2.4 seconds across the line last time. He'll be over the moon with that at the moment. Now, Guillaume is going to have some slipstream here off Gerardo, but Alboy is going to have slipstream off the pair of them. Is it going to be enough down the back straight? Because they seemed a little bit spaced out compared to last time. Doesn't look like Guillaume can do anything yet. Alboy looking down the inside. Big lock up there from Guldenfels. Now Guillaume takes a very wide entrance to the corners to try and get a good run on the exit through the kink at turn 8 into turn 9. And Gerardo's gone a little bit deep there into 9. And Guillaume senses it, smells blood in the water. Just hear tyres screeching, screaming for mercy. Now look at this. Gerardo decides to go defensive, then goes against it. Guillaume's all over the back of him. And if you're the driver that's chasing and following someone in front, the best thing in the world is to know that you've rattled them and see them going defensive. He knows that he's filling Gerardo's mirrors. And you can see from Gerardo's body language that he needs to defend. Final lap of the race then. David Pouget leads the way. Nicolas Milan second. Kevin Jimenez is in third. Then it's Guldenfelt, Gerardo, Guillot and Alboy, the battle that we're watching here. Thibaut Bossy is 3 seconds off the back of this, followed by Michael Curie. And then Jerzy Spinkovic rounding out your top 10. But Guillot, well, if you asked him, do you want to finish in 6th place? I think the body language of the car is telling you exactly what his answer is, but Gerardo is having to defend for his life here. All the while, Alexander Alboy is watching just behind, thinking, yeah, okay, go on then. Have a little bit of a dice, boys. I'll take that off you. Down the back straight they go. Much closer than before now is Marc Guillot. Alboy just moving out to the right slightly to say, I'm still here. Now, Gerardo goes defensive. Guillot goes to the outside, later on the brakes. He's going to try and carry it around the outside there. Keep an eye on Alboy in the number 25. Nothing doing there. He's very close to the back of Gerardo through the kink. Looks down the inside into turn 9. Nothing there. Alboy takes a wide line to try and have a look as a cutback. Guillot covers it. Very late, but he covers it. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do enough here. It's going to come down to the last few corners. Now Guillot has gone from the hunter to the hunted here because Alboy is all over him. He can no longer attack Anthony Gerardo, but through the final couple of corners though, the number 15, David Pouget, is about to start his season with the best way possible. It's a race win for Pouget. Fantastic performance. Took the lead early on. Takes the win. Nicely done. Second place goes the way of Nicolas Milan. Then Jimenez, Guldenfels, and it is going to be Gerardo beating Marc Guillot and Alexander Alboy after a fantastic battle towards the end there. Great way to get the season underway. David Pouget will be very pleased with that. And look across the line there. Oh, Viguier, I thought just had Cocaine at the line there, but they were very close. 62 thousandths of a second between the two of them. I was holding my breath just to see if he beat him. But either way, Lionel still wins the Gentleman Drivers' Cup, and Kevin Jimenez in 3rd place wins the Challengers' Cup. But Pouget, what a performance. Very calm and collected from the get-go. And a deserved win, very deserved win. And he's going to be hoping to do the same again tomorrow, I can imagine. But he's definitely one to watch this season. The GPA racing driver doing a smashing job. And it's important to get a win like that early on in the championship because you have to carry the momentum through the whole season. And that's exactly what he's going to want to do there. Just on the slowdown lap now then. Marshals there appreciating all the drivers. It's great to see that as well. Thank you to all the marshals around the circuit today. David Pouget waving out of the window. I bet they couldn't wait to get the window down there. It's going to be hot in those cars. There's Horn, who, by the way, got that 3-second penalty. So I'm just checking how far behind him people were. He was 26.1 seconds off the lead. So he would have been classified in 17th place because Juan Carlos Hernandez, just by 1/10 of a second, missed out on gaining a spot there. He was 29.2 seconds off. So Horn will be classified 17th, which means Lana Poudenx and Bajo go up to 15th and 16th place. But there is David Pouget, your race winner. And Mike doesn't like the new Clio look fantastic. Pouget will be very, very pleased with this. Like I say, best way to get a championship started is to take a win. And my, didn't that 25 minutes fly by? I bet it didn't from his point of view. He's out of the car, a congratulatory hug, and of course a bottle of water. And he goes to congratulate Jimenez as well. Big hug between the pair of them, great to see. Fantastic sportsmanship in this championship. I've been in and about the paddock all weekend and having as many chats with the drivers as I can with my limited French, but it is such a friendly paddock. It's great, really is great. And there you go. Apologies, that was Nicolas Milan. That's Kevin Jimenez there, just pulling up. Oh no, I did have it the right way around. There you go. I should learn names and faces, really, shouldn't I? But there you go. A very exciting podium and a brilliant, brilliant race, because a lot of the time you don't always get the battling at the front of the field. But there we go. We'll look back then at the race highlights and see exactly how that all unfolded. So the very first round of the championship then. A great start by Jimenez. Puget tried to cover it off, but could not do anything to match him early on. Some fantastic battling between Gerardo and Guillaume early on in there. 3 wide even, with, I believe, Hernandez getting caught up in the middle of that. Long, long train of them all the way through turn 5. Little bit sketchy there from Guillaume, but keeping his foot in it. Great commitment to get up into another position further up the order. But either way, David Puget, this is the move that made the race. Down the inside on the brakes into turn 7. And from then on, there was no looking back, especially considering Jimenez gave him a little bump in the middle of the corner there. Either way, very exciting stuff. Great close racing from the pair of them. Good respect. This was when Milan got past Guldenfels. Guldenfels doing an endo on the brakes on the way in. Again, fantastic racing between those pair. But as expected, turn 7 really was the overtaking point for this race. Again, Milan continuing his charge forward. 6-time champion, definitely showing why he is a 6-time champion. Jimenez, though, with a fantastic cutback. Beautiful door-to-door racing, but ultimately Milan would stay ahead after that little move there, down into turn 9. It's not like Jimenez made it easy for him, though. He certainly piled the pressure on when he could, ensured that Milan did not disappear over the horizon. But your winner in the end was David Puget. After a very calm performance, Milan second, Jimenez third, and Puget will be very, very pleased with that. So here is your result then. David Puget takes the first win of the season ahead of Nicolas Milan, with Kevin Jimenez rounding out your podium. We then have Dorian Guldenfels with Anthony Gerardo in 5th place. Marc Guillaume ends up 6th, just ahead of Alexander Alboy, with Thibaut Bossy 8th, Michael Curry in 9th, and Jerzy Spinkovic making sure it's not a fully French top 10. Guillaume Maillot is 11th, with Paul Coquin in 12th. Lino Viguier is 13th, ahead of Laurent Giades. And then Horn is 15th, with Lana Pudence in 16th. Alvaro Bajo and Juan Carlos Hernandez 17th and 18th, with Jeremy Bordagaray 19th, ahead of Javier Sequendes, who started at the back of the grid and made up a couple of positions. Arnaud Gauthier is 21st, ahead of Fabien Julia, with Steven Bolderman and Michael Fay just behind. Then it's Antoine Bordagaray and René Steenmetz makes up the 26 drivers who all finished the race. No DNFs from anybody. And a nice tidy race, you have to say, to start the season. All the drivers will be very pleased with that. Nobody has too much work to do ahead of the race tomorrow. No damage or anything to be repaired, so that's always a good day at the office if you're part of a racing team, as you all know. But of course, this is the first of 2 races this weekend here in the south of France at Nogaro. We will have another race at the same time tomorrow. And there is Kevin Jimenez, your 3rd place finisher. 2nd place, the fantastic Nicolas Milan. And then your race winner, David Puget of GPA Racing. Very well deserved. And obviously the race winning team there, GPA Racing. And now we will of course have the national anthem. Fantastic stuff there then from the very first round of the Clio Cup Europe in 2021. David Pouget takes the win from Nicolas Milan and Kevin Jimenez. Now the drivers pose for photos with their trophies. In the wonderful southern France sunshine. And now I believe we will have the Gentleman Drivers' Cup podium.
Et pour ce podium, j'ai le plaisir d'avoir à la 3e position Marc Horn.
And third place in that one was indeed Marc Horn in the number 88 machine. Despite the 3-second penalty that he got for the contact, he still takes third place in class. Very well deserved drive. Second place, Laurent Diadus. Walks over to the podium, congratulates Horn. And your winner in the Gentleman's Cup today, sorry, the Gentleman's Drivers' Cup, is Lionel Viguier. After a very exciting to watch drive in that race. He certainly put the work in for that one, didn't he? And the drivers again have their trophies, pose for photos. You can see on their thumbs up. Very, very pleased with himself. And a great drive all around. Great way to start your campaign there for Viguier in the number 16 machine. Merci, monsieur, indeed. Right then, we also have now the Challengers Cup podium as well for the drivers that were under the age of 26 going into this season. Michael Carré, third place in class, 9th overall in that race in the number 7 car. He didn't get involved in too much drama, so he'll be thankful for that one. Second place goes the way of Alexander Alboy. And then the winner in the Challengers Cup, third overall, Kevin Jimenez. A very popular man he is indeed. Strong, strong drive there. Unfortunately, couldn't hold off Nicolas Milan, but he'll be very happy to at least get an overall podium and some more silverware for his troubles in the Challengers Cup. But that is it from here, from Nogaro today, everybody, in the Clio Cup Europe. I've been Chaz Draycott. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Have a good day.